Welcome back everyone, Adzi here, and we're in the armory again. Today, the lovely people at T238 have sent me one of their brushless motors. And they've asked me to have a little look at it, make a video on it, put it in something, and test it. So I thought we'd have a little look together. Now, obviously this is the box it comes in. Nice and simple, dead easy. Says exactly what it is, I suppose. One of the things they did ask me to highlight though on this is this top bit, and that you shouldn't use other brand ETUs with this. You're only allowed to use theirs. And even then you're not allowed to have things like the active brake and everything like that set. So with that all out of the way, let's open this little box and see what we have inside. So here it is. Is the camera going to be nice and focused for me? So there we go, little brushless motor. Like the colour though, blue, definitely the best, absolutely, we don't mind that. But what I think we really need to do is actually put this inside something and see what it does. Okay, so the toy that I think we're going to use to test this is going to be this. This is my JG Mp5k. Now at the minute this has had kind of minimal bits done to it in terms of enhancing its performance, and currently this is still on the original trigger contacts, so we're going to use this. So we're going to give this a test without any kind of MOSFETs, because I don't have a T238 MOSFET to try it with, and given that we're not supposed to be using it with anything else, we're just going to try it in something with mechanical trigger contacts. So we're going to use this. Now traditionally with this I would use this on this 11.1 volt stick battery for the pure reason that it fits along the top and it gives me good performance. Well, what we'll do is we'll do a before and an after the installation of the motor with both the usual 11.1 that I use, but we're also going to do some testing using a 7.4 for the pure reason that I would expect, now I haven't done this yet because you've just seen me open this out of the box, when we put this in, I would like to think that this is going to perform really well with just a 7.4 battery whilst using that. But we're about to find out. So let's get some rate of fire readings of the two batteries as standard, pop that in and see what happens. Okay, so we'll start with said chrono. Now, just to confirm, we're doing the 11.1 battery, which is my usual setup, and we're still on the standard motor because the new one's here. So let's just see what we have. We have got reasonable response from semi. Absolutely fine. And if we put this through the chrono on full auto, so that has just done 15 rounds per second. So that's usually how I would have this set up. And that's on the 11.1 battery. So that's going quite well there. Now, if we connect the 7.4 volt battery, so with the 7.4 volt attached, let's see how it sounds on semi. So we can hear it's noticeably slower. And then if we put this thing on full auto through the chrono, ready? So that has just dropped down and that's shown there 11 rounds per second. So what we want to then see is how much of an improvement this is going to make, and we'll test it with both batteries just to see. Part of me hopes that this makes it too fast on the 11.1 and that we have to drop down to a 7.4 just so we can use lesser power through the whole system, but let's find out. So there we go, that was currently running on the original JG motor. That is what would have come with it as just a stock part. So let's compare. Let's see. Let's put that in and see how much difference it makes. Okay, so one thing I have noticed, just putting that in there, the actual tabs on the motor itself are ever so slightly thicker than what's on the standard one, which is quite nice because that's a really snug fit, which is good because I suppose that means there's less chance of them actually disconnecting whilst they're in the grip. I know some things, I've seen that before. I've never seen it happen to that in all the times I've used it, which I must admit isn't many. Not that it was a problem, but just as an observation as to what's happening there. So, the motor's now all installed in there. I did have to make some amendments with the alignment of the motor to the bevel gear, purely because it's just slightly different in the motors, so always check that. Now, the bit we all want to see is, does it make any difference? So, this is a 7.4 volt battery. We'll go with that one first. So, I suppose, firstly, does it sound any better on semi-auto? Maybe slightly, but the big test is going to be to see what the chrono tells us. So, full auto, here we go. Okay, so that has done 11 rounds a second, so it's exactly the same. So literally, that hasn't changed anything in terms of rate of fire, so interesting. Let's just bung it on the 11.1. Because it could be that even with this new motor that I continue to run it on this. So let's have a look. So semi-auto. Yeah, that's nice and snappy, but then it always was on the 11.1 battery. Now the full auto, are we going to get the same reading? So that has just done 16 rounds a second. So there's not really any difference in it. So interesting. So although it works quite well, to be fair to it, it hasn't really made any drastic improvements in terms of the rate of fire over the standard motor. Perhaps though, long term, maybe it will improve the battery life possibly. So maybe the batteries will last longer, which to be fair would be quite good in something small like this because we're limited in size of battery we can use. Obviously that's an 11.1, but it's small, so it's limited on its milliampage because of the capacity that we can actually fit with inside the body of this. So I'm hoping that perhaps that is an improvement that we're going to see on here, even if we didn't see anything improve on the rate of fire, etc. So there you have it. That is a T238 brushless motor that they kindly sent me. So hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. Maybe that's useful, maybe it's interesting, who knows. But if you can like it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.